Welcome back, and in today's video we will be checking out all the neat trains that I have caught around my hometown area in the month of January 2025. This month I have went out for various different trains around my home area, starting with a lesser train running on the Lake State Railway Saginaw subdivision formerly owned by CSX. Little intro to my nighttime session, and we got a kind of an uncommon nowadays sighting here in Flint on the Lake State Saginaw sub, or the north part of the CSX Saginaw sub. We got a green through CP South McGrew, so that could only mean one thing. Through Richfield Road here, this could be a grain train or like an extra local to Saginaw, but I guess that said, let's go ahead and go to somewhere on Lake State and find out. Clear signal aspects like that one through CP South McGrew and Flint is not a very common thing anymore. Back in the day when the BNSF coal trains to Saginaw used to run, they used to be a relatively common thing, though the most common signal aspect through this control point is a yellow over red, which means a train is going to terminate into McGrew Yard. But in this case, in 2025, a green signal usually means an extra or as needed is running northbound, past McGrew and Coldwater yards. And as my observation states, I was correct. This was a northbound grain train, I believe bound for Pinconning or somewhere further up north where there's a grain elevator. And this train had a rather familiar leader on it, CSX AC 4400 CW number 92 with a killer K5H horn. Go ahead and take a look. Man, it's always a treat to see mainline-sized freights go mainline speeds through a now Class 2 owned subdivision. Now once that was over, I rushed back to the car to check the ATCS monitor for the CN Flint sub, and sure enough, there was another train getting closer. And this one in particular was CN M301 with CN 3008, the Illinois Central Heritage Unit, on point. And you thought the K5H from CSX 92 sounded cool? Just you wait. If you didn't know already, CN 3008 recently got its horn swapped or retuned into a K5 HLA hybrid horn of some sort. And it sounds amazing. Go ahead and take a listen. And as an attempt to get better shots, I have chased M301 to Flint, only to get greeted by M394 before catching this train again. Quite the odd power arrangement with M394 right there. And I cannot tell for certain, but I think that's 301 rounding that corner. Well, let's hope for some better shots. And just like that, that concludes my nightly run of catching a few trains on the night of January 15th. Now, fast forward a couple days later on January 17th, I get word of some, let's say, some old original power rolling back onto their home rails. First up being CNL 508 coming out of Flint with two Grand Trunk Western painted GP38-2s, both bound for Flat Rock, Michigan. After that cleared, I then realized that I had a chance to get a third Grand Trunk Jeep in its original paint on its home rails. This time, though, leading a yard job known as R943, which is a yard job that goes all over the place outbound of Bristol Yard, and it works multiple industries, and one of them being the General Motors Distribution Center located around Dye Road in Flint. And how it works right here, as you can see, it comes out of the yard, takes this wide to the plant, and then comes back with 86-foot boxcars or as light power. And in this frame, we catch it coming back to the yard with two 86-foot boxcars with 5851 leading long hood forward. Yes, the same one that I caught in Pontiac. Yeah, and seeing that exact consist in 2025 was definitely a trip. And once this day was over, fast forward to 10 days later, I then get word of another special train coming my way. An IC SD70 duo coming straight out of Kirkyard, one of them being in the Death Star paint, leading Q116, which this time it was all intermodals, catching it rolling through just east of downtown Bancroft, Michigan, this time with my camcorder that I recently just got back, and the leading locomotive, the Death Star unit, had a rather interesting horn on it. Instead of a P3 or a P5 like you would expect on one of these Death Star units, this one in particular had a Nathan K5H, which sounds straight from the BC Rail era. Go ahead and take a listen. All right, after lots of BS, got her. Thanks for watching, and if you guys enjoyed this style of video, make sure to let me know down in the comments below, or hit that like button or subscribe if you haven't already yet. After all, I am still experimenting on this channel, so I decided to try this thing out, but except with all the hometown rail fanning videos that I've made within the past month of January of this year, and instead of just slapping the clips together, I decided to make it just a tad more advanced than that, you know? And this was a lot of fun to make and rail fan out as always, so I decided to edit it this way just to see how you guys like it. Though I may do this more often, but at the same time I would still like to hear your guys' feedback. So, I guess that's all that's said for now. Over and out.